higher television ratings, higher attendance figures. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't come courtesy of a league. It comes courtesy of the players that play in the league. And in her case, she was the most popular, which means she could have helped your bottom line, which means you should have seen that from day one and maximized it. But you didn't do it.
Stephen A. Smith is no stranger to fiery takes, but his latest remarks ignited a firestorm aimed directly at WNBA players and leadership under Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Smith's critique spotlighted a growing frustration shared by fans and analysts. His rallying cry wasn't about one misstep. It was about the league's mishandling of Caitlin Clark, a transformative talent. Clark, a record-breaking, game-changing star, has drawn record crowds and shattered viewership numbers in her debut season. She represents a golden opportunity to elevate the WNBA's profile. Yet, the league's response to her success has been puzzlingly muted. Instead of capitalizing on her historic achievements, the WNBA seems to be getting in its own way. Fans are left questioning, is the league securing its future or squandering it?
You didn't want to, rather. You were a bit hesitant and reluctant and resistant to it. So much so you didn't push for her to be on Team USA. So much so, you had people like Cheryl Swoops who didn't even want to mention her name.
Stephen A. Smith's fiery critique exposes a deeper issue. The WNBA stands at a pivotal crossroads. His pointed question resonates. What happens if the league continues to miss the mark? By failing to harness its own momentum and capitalize on stars like Caitlin Clark, the cost could be its future relevance.
And everybody talking about other WNBA players not being appreciated. Nobody insulted them. Nobody dismissed their contribution. We were simply saying, despite the contributions for years and years and years, a lot of people didn't care. Fair or not, until Caitlin Clark came.
When Stephen A. Smith speaks, his words don't just echo, they demand attention. This time, his fiery critique targeted the WNBA, calling out veteran players and Commissioner Cathy Engelbert for a glaring failure: the inability to fully capitalize on Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise. Clark's record-shattering performances have electrified fans and redefined the sport, yet the league's response has been lackluster. Smith didn't hold back, highlighting a deep-rooted issue: the growing disconnect between the exceptional talent on the court and the decisions being made in boardrooms. This wasn't just a one-off oversight, it's part of a troubling pattern. How could the WNBA allow its brightest star to be sidelined in its own narrative? The league's future may depend on the answer.
But if you went the opposite direction, it could have helped that much and facilitated you being in an even stronger position to get yours. But you didn't do it. You didn't do it.
Recent examples highlight the WNBA's puzzling silence on Caitlin Clark's achievements, including her Forbes 30 Under 30 recognition, BBC Sports Personality of the Year win, and efforts to spotlight women's sports at the LPGA. Despite Clark being a phenomenal ambassador, the league's official channels ignored these milestones entirely. Fans noticed and didn't hesitate to voice their frustration. Clark's Rookie of the Year award was met with surprising indifference. While others enjoyed grand celebrations, her recognition was reduced to a simple phone call, leaving fans deeply disappointed.
They decided that they were going to let her know she was Rookie of the Year with a phone call in Connecticut during a practice before a playoff game. You can't make this.
Stephen A. Smith's critique resonated deeply because it highlighted a truth fans and players had long felt, but rarely articulated. This wasn't just about Caitlin Clark. It was about respect, investment, and the WNBA's apparent uncertainty in championing its future. Smith argued these weren't isolated marketing missteps, but symptoms of a deeper issue: an organizational reluctance to embrace bold moves and amplify star power in a way befitting modern sports culture. Clark isn't just an athlete. She's a phenomenon, drawing record crowds and energizing the fan base. Yet the league's response has been timid, seeming unsure of how to harness her momentum and showcase her transformative impact on the game.
Elevated television ratings, it elevated attendance, and it damn sure elevated franchise value. But now, something that y'all resisted talking about, opining about, acknowledge.
The stakes couldn't be higher for the WNBA. Stephen A. Smith's critique wasn't just about Caitlin Clark. It was a warning about the league's future. Fans are demanding transparency, aggressive promotion of star players, and a clear commitment to growing the game. Without these elements, even the league's brightest moments risk fading into irrelevance. This isn't just about boosting ratings. It's about demonstrating trust, vision, and leadership to elevate the sport. In today's sports landscape, momentum is everything. Smith's call for change wasn't just another hot take. It was a challenge. Clark represents the WNBA's potential, but the league now faces a pivotal choice: embrace this moment or continue to falter. Will leadership rise to the occasion, or must changes be made for the league to thrive?
Are you willing to admit how stupid it was for y'all not to go all in speaking your piece to elevate Caitlin Clark? So therefore even more attention could have come and y'all could have reaped the benefits? Now you're gonna do it anyway, and I get that, but you see my point?
When Commissioner Kathy Engelbert appeared on national television, fans and players anticipated a confident leader championing WNBA stars and outlining a bold vision. Instead, her remarks revealed a troubling disconnect. During her 60 Minutes interview, when asked about Caitlin Clark's monumental impact, Engelbert downplayed it, saying, "No league's ever about one player." Her appearances, including on CNBC's Power Lunch, left many questioning the league's direction and its ability to celebrate its rising stars effectively, further fueling concerns about leadership missteps.
When you're asked about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
While Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's remark about no league being about one player was meant to highlight teamwork, it inadvertently dismissed Caitlin Clark's transformative impact on the WNBA's viewership, fan engagement, and visibility. Fans saw it as a missed opportunity to celebrate a star breathing new life into the sport, sparking outrage on social media. Her comments on CNBC's Power Lunch added to the confusion. While emphasizing rivalries as a viewership driver, Engelbert focused on marketing tactics, but sidestepped critical issues like player safety and fair treatment. This approach left players and fans questioning her priorities, underscoring a troubling disconnect between leadership's messaging and the league's realities.
One black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another.
The consequences of this disconnect are significant. While Engelbert emphasizes leveraging rivalries for ratings, players like Caitlin Clark face inconsistent officiating and physical risks that could jeopardize their careers. Fans demand integrity, fairness, and a commitment to the athletes who drive the league's success. Ignoring these fundamentals risks eroding the trust essential for the WNBA's growth.
Balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players much more so than they were.
Take, for instance, the ongoing officiating inconsistencies that have frustrated both players and fans alike. Refereeing often swings between overly strict and bafflingly lenient, creating a chaotic environment. This unpredictability not only disrupts the flow of the game, but also increases safety risks. When athletes like Caitlin Clark push the boundaries with aggressive drives and precise plays, inconsistent officiating heightens the chances of injury. One glaring example was when Clark received a technical foul for hitting the ring post, a call that sparked outrage due to its inconsistency across the league and highlighted the need for more uniform standards.
Caitlin Clark gets hit with a technical. After
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball.
Imagine if the same call had been applied to Diana Taurasi for hitting the ring post. This inconsistency highlights a larger issue. The WNBA is often seen as prioritizing optics over substantive improvements. Instead of addressing glaring problems like officiating, the league focuses on marketing-friendly narratives like rivalries. Fans, however, want fairness and consistency, not preferential treatment. They want the product on the court to shine, not be overshadowed by off-court controversies.
I said Caitlin Clark, rising tide lifts all boats. As much as her presence was maximized by the WNBA, you players could have done more.
Player safety remains a significant concern for the WNBA, with Caitlin Clark's record-breaking season revealing the physical toll of high-paced play. She endured an alarming number of flagrant fouls, which raised concerns among analysts and fans. However, the league's response has been inadequate, with little progress in improving officiating consistency or implementing enhanced safety protocols. Let's take a closer look at one of the fouls against Clark, how it was officiated in the WNBA, and how it might have been handled in the NBA.
Tell me Caitlin Clark gets a special whiff so ever again. One call was an ejection and the other was a common foul. Now, let's replay this one more damn time. So I can see right here. This was the exact same damn play. Look, same play. Same play, bro. Look
Bridges
at this.
the miss.
Are you
Tatum the
serious
rebound.
right
He
here?
discarded
Boom.
LaMelo.
Same
He
play.
got crushed by Williams at
Same
half
play.
court.
Now, Grant Williams was ejected.
Beyond officiating and safety concerns, the WNBA's handling of Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise exposed a deeper issue: missed opportunities to capitalize on a once-in-a-generation talent. Fans flocked to arenas and tuned in to broadcasts in record numbers, eager to support Clark and the league. Yet, merchandise tied to her achievements was scarce, and promotional efforts around her historic season were minimal. This left fans frustrated and sent a discouraging message that while players like Clark excel on the court, the league struggles to deliver off it. Clark's breakout season was more than just highlight reels. It was an opportunity for the WNBA to redefine itself and attract new audiences. But instead of embracing this momentum, the league faltered, missing its chance to demonstrate a unified commitment to its players and fans. These missteps aren't just disappointing, they're dangerous. Without meaningful action, the WNBA risks squandering its momentum and alienating the very people who sustain it.
Nobody wants to believe that this league could actually be that dense. Professional league, guys. We're not talking about a rec league. We're not talking about even a high school team. Nobody believes that anybody is that close.
The stakes couldn't be clearer. If the league continues to prioritize surface-level gains over deep-rooted change, it will struggle to maintain credibility with both players and its loyal fan base. Caitlin Clark represents everything the WNBA could achieve, but will leadership rise to the challenge or let unresolved issues cast a shadow on the league's future?
One thing as a very long-term sports fan I know is that officiating and refereeing is always at the top of a fan's list, of the media's list. Obviously, not every, there's...
Beyond marketing, the WNBA's approach to player advocacy has faced growing criticism. While rivalries and competitive matchups generate buzz, they often overshadow the deeper stories, the ones that showcase players' resilience, challenges, and influence beyond the game. Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise presented an unprecedented opportunity to highlight these narratives. As both an athlete and an advocate, Clark embodies the dual roles many WNBA players take on, balancing fierce competition with meaningful impact in their communities. This was the league's chance to align itself with these powerful stories, but it faltered. Clark's influence wasn't limited to her individual brand. Her performances drew fresh attention to the WNBA's untapped potential, pulling in new fans from college basketball circles and casual sports enthusiasts alike. Her story proved that compelling individual narratives can spark league-wide benefits, engaging audiences far beyond the traditional fan base. So why wasn't the league ready to harness this moment?
With the WNBA playoffs, let's stay here. Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated.
Clark's breakout season highlighted the WNBA's untapped potential, but the league's response has exposed critical gaps in its strategy. From the lackluster recognition of her Rookie of the Year award to Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's questionable statements, leadership's missteps have sparked uncomfortable questions. Why hasn't the WNBA embraced its stars fully? Why do fundamental issues like player safety and officiating remain unresolved? These concerns are not isolated. They point to larger challenges that could shape the future of the league. Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise wasn't just a brief moment of excitement. It was a clear signal of what the WNBA could become with the right leadership. Her incredible performances drew new fans, boosted viewership, and displayed the potential of a league on the brink of something much bigger. However, potential without action can easily slip away. Clark's journey illustrates the kind of league the WNBA could be, one that celebrates its stars, addresses the needs of its players, and adapts to the demands of modern sports culture. The stakes are high, but so are the rewards. A league that focuses on integrity, fairness, and innovation will not only thrive, but will leave a lasting impact on the sports world. The question remains, will the WNBA rise to the challenge or allow this moment to fade? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.